Fence. I'm sitting there, a little ass white boy, and this, I'm talking big ass dude walk up to me, hand me a list, right? I don't even know what it's a list. It's a piece of paper, right? And I look at it and I'm like, the hell's this? He's like, man, go ahead and get that for me. Don't let me find you now. And peels off. I'd have heard all about this, you know what I'm saying? I'm like, oh, and now mind you, I'm in the streets, a white boy, I'm selling crack. I'm out there thugging in the streets, right? I thought, this a whole different animal. You know, you ain't got your clique, you ain't got your homeboys, you know, you ain't got no pistol. So I know they always say, go up to the biggest guy, all that. You heard, everyone's heard that. Go to the biggest guy, punch him in the mouth. You know, it sounds good, right? Till the biggest guy give you a list. So he give me a list. I'm like, damn, and it's a long list too. And I didn't have no money. I didn't have no family ride with me. A little bit of money I came in with, and I played poker. I got off the land, which is a problem in itself, you know, gambling. But so anyways, I'm like, what do I do, man?
Good, man. It's your boy E.I. the King, and this is the Incarceration Podcast, where I talk about prison, pre, post, and present, how everything that I experienced throughout my incarceration has forever changed my life. This is the Incarceration.
All right, good afternoon. This is State of Florida versus Stephen Testa with multiple cases before the court.
Forever Convict family, listen, we are on a journey to 50,000 subs. We are over halfway there. So if you have not yet subscribed, please go ahead and do so. Share this channel with anybody who enjoys prison content. And if you don't know my story, I've done over 12 years in prison. And all throughout my incarceration on this channel, I share the crazy, funny, goofy, weird prison stories, as well as interviewing other convicts and sharing their stories as well. But most importantly, we highlight the redemptive stories of convicts coming home, leaving their past lifestyle of crime, and now living successfully in society.
Fam, what's good? It's your boy E.I. the King. This is the Incarceration Podcast, and today I'm doing an interview with my dog Keny. I actually met Keny randomly one day. I was just walking downtown, going on my morning prayer walk, spending time with the Lord, and him and a couple other guys were like in downtown Tampa, where like a whole bunch of homeless people live at, and they were passing out bag lunches, they were sharing the gospel, they were sharing their testimonies, and they were just, you know, serving the homeless community. So I pulled over and I had to salute them, you know, for what they were doing. But Keny was standing somewhere like far off, and I guess he knew me. He followed me on Instagram. He knew about my story, and he himself too just got out of prison. So he pulled up, introduced himself, we linked, and he was a part of a ministry that I'm aware of here in Tampa. And so that's how we connected, and I think he's been to prison like 5 times. I don't know too much of his story. I know he did a lot of time, and I know that throughout his incarceration, he authentically encountered Jesus like myself, as well as other men and women who we interview on this channel, that not only did they experience the crazy inside stories of prison, but most importantly, it wasn't just the crazy stuff that happened. God used that time to transform their lives. So we're about to pull up on him right now, and we're gonna interview him. So you're gonna be able to hear his story first-handedly. All the crazy, funny, goofy, crazy, weird prison stories, and hear how God transformed his life in the middle of the bed. So I think he's right around this corner, meeting him at this Dollar Tree where I was at. Keny, what's good, dog? You all right?
What up,
Good to see you, Brody.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir, man. Let's get it, man.
Keny, bro, it's an honor to have you on the Incarceration Podcast, man. We're gonna go ahead and just dive right into your story. First of all, man, what's your name? Where you from? And then just start into like your upbringing, your childhood. Where you from? How was your household and your childhood like? And ultimately, what led you to begin to start into kind of journey off into a lifestyle of crime?
All right. My name's Keny Carlson. I'll be 42 in a couple weeks. I grew up in Florida boy my whole life. I had a pretty good upbringing, man. I had both my parents. My mom and dad had a brother. My brother's 3 years older than me. I always used to tag along with him, play football, all that. Where'd I go wrong? I don't really know, man. I got involved in a rough group growing up, you know. They was out, started stealing. We started smoking weed, drinking, getting in our parents' pills, whatever, Xanax, perks. Just, you know, always kind of just, I feel like my dad, you know, he was a hard worker. He worked hard, he drank, he didn't really talk, you know what I'm saying? He didn't talk to me, my mom, nothing. So maybe, you know, I was trying to fit in with the group, and, you know, just doing whatever to fit in, you know, and get the likes before the likes were a thing on social media. And I just started always getting in trouble young, man, fighting in school, skipping school. I found out about girls and weed, and it really wasn't school no more. I would just focus on that. Started getting in trouble real young, man. JDC, level 6 programs, level 8 programs. Then it was county jail, adjudicating as an adult, young, to prison, you know, and then just back to prison cycle.
All right, so whenever you mention the level 6, level 8 programs, like what trouble, what crimes were you committing? What type of, you know, trouble were you getting into at that age? And like, how old were you exactly?
The level 6, I was probably like 15, breaking into houses, stealing paintball guns, breaking into cars, getting put on like probation, house arrest, JDC. Then I went to that level 6 for burglary. Stealing. I got out. I was on like aftercare. I remember my mom was like, yo, you're getting too much trouble at school. So she wanted me to get my GED. I got my GED. And then really my parents kicked me out when I was like 16.
You unashamed about all that time you did? Go ahead and grab your Forever Convict tee, where we're unashamed to share how our incarceration is what God chose to use to radically transform our life. And even though society may deem us as convicts, I'm not ashamed of what God used throughout that season of incarceration to make me to be the man who I am today. Forever convict.
Just sneaking out, causing trouble, doing the same stuff, you know. And back then it wasn't like you could call DC. You can't kick me out, I'll call DCF, you know. It was just on my own. I always had a lot of pride. So I started selling weed. Doing whatever I had to do, you know. Got a little apartment that was in this burned down motel in Brooksville. It was like 6 rooms to a motel. This guy was selling them, so I had an apartment. And yeah, really just started selling weed young. And then when I was like 17, I started selling coke, started selling crack, started really getting some money, and just, you know, just drinking, living hectic, living ratchet.
All right, now when did you go to prison for the first time and for what?
I went to prison at 19. I had gotten into a high-speed pursuit, and I got like aggravated fleeing to a loon, leading the scene of an accident, property damage, DUI. I was out on bond for that, and I'm out on bond. I'm selling dope. I'm selling crack. The police were kind of watching my house, so they set up the house across the street. They were watching me, pulling people over, controlled buys. End up someone were wiring me, and so I got sales and possession, crack cocaine, possession, a bunch of possession charges. I ended up getting 24 months for that, going to prison young.
How old were you?
19, 20.
19.
Yeah.
Okay. So they gave you said 24 months?
Yeah.
All right, so go ahead and begin the story of like your first prison bid.
Oh.
From the county jail to like your first day in prison. How was it, bro? Like being that young, you know, go ahead and paint the picture for the viewer.
At this time, I was already used to institution life, you know. The JDC was the most ratchet, I feel like. It was, you were fighting every day, the guards put their hands on you. Then it was county jail, and I was in there so long, I was ready to go to prison, you know, just get up the road. And back then it was ratchet too, going through Orlando Reception Center. You know, the guards, they put their hands on you back then, they talk crazy to you. And I remember going through there, I went to Calhoun in the Panhandle.
Hold on, let me cut you off. Before you get to Calhoun, how was that first day in prison? Like going to Orlando, going to the reception, CFRC,
man,
like
paint
the picture.
It was
people don't know what happened.
It was heavy, man. Riding the Bluebird up there, you know, I'm riding it. We get there. I'd heard all the stories, you know, everyone get there, everyone butt naked, stripped down, get in a line, bend over, head on the bench, you know, spread your cheeks, bend over, cough. No talking, and I don't want to. I've heard all the war stories. You know, you talk, they're gonna put their hands on you. So I'm sitting there, yes sir, and you know, you go through and someone's in your group and they're being an idiot. You gonna suffer. You all gonna suffer. Sit there, sit down, stand up on your knees on this all steel bench, just talk you like dogs, really dehumanize you. You know, and it was a shock to me. You know, you can prepare yourself as much as you want, but seeing all them swinging men and all the parts and all that, you know, it's like you ain't used to that, and getting talked to, women talking to you, oh, put that little dick away, and selling you out. It was a culture shock for sure, you know what I'm saying?
So what was like your thought process, like going through all this, at 19 years old, going to prison for the first time? How were you feeling?
Honestly, man, I was already kind of numb to it, from JDC to level 6 to jail, you know, like I was already, I have been to jail several times already, bond out, going there for a couple months, going there fighting a charge, bond out. So I'm to the point where I'm just in jail gambling, playing poker, you know, on the phone. I'm already acclimated to it.
I also have a fire HBO style series chronologically going over my prison experience from day one, all throughout my 12 years in prison. But you got to become a member to this channel. If you're on desktop, that's the only way you can do it. If you're on a mobile phone, you got to do it through Safari, or you got to go to your internet app and become a member. Check out a brief clip right here. He's not directly addressing me. He's not directly addressing anybody. He's just saying it loudly about all the new people. And we weren't the only new people who came in that day. There's people who came in before us. But I'm thinking still he's going to be the one that tries me. So he goes and he sits down, and I'm sitting on the bench, and all of a sudden someone approaches me. I'm sitting on the outside of the bench, and someone stands right
trying to do the time as best I can. But yeah, prison was a whole different animal. And, you know, being a white boy too, especially back then, it was like I was dog food, you know, not affiliated, not in the gang. I was skinny. I didn't work out, you know, I always had heart, but they didn't know that, you know, so it was like, it was open season. And it was kind of just like show and prove, you know? And I got tested and fought. They're like, okay, this cracker's gonna bump, you know, like whatever. But it was wild, man.
All right, so keep going with your story. You were at our Orlando Reception Center, and you're talking about going to Calhoun. Go ahead and begin the stories about, you know, arriving to your first permanent prison, and just how was it adjusting to a prison lifestyle and just programming. I don't know if you remained a neutron the whole time, but how it was navigating through a hostile environment without gangbanging. What was your everyday schedule like? And just share the crazy, funny, goofy prison stories throughout that prison.
So even going to Calhoun, first off, I'm on the Bluebird. We're going up in the Panhandle, and I'm from Central Florida. You know, I was born in Clearwater, moved to Spring Hill, Tampa area my whole life. So that was new to me, you know, North Florida and all that. So we get to Calhoun, and, you know, some people are like, oh, this is a sweet camp. And come to find out, it's in a different time zone. It's in Florida, but in a different time zone, in Bluntstown. So I get there, and, you know, I'm young, and yeah, I was still a neutron. And so I remember my first week, you had to go on the rec yard. You know, back then the prison was a lot better as far as like, not controlled movement. You know, you could go out, you can either go to chow or the rec yard. You were out all day back then, you know? So I'm on the rec yard. There was a canteen line on the fence. You got to get in the line to go to canteen. I'm on the fence. I'm sitting there, little ass white boy, and this, I'm talking big ass dude walk up to me, hand me a list, right? I don't even know what it's a list. It's a piece of paper, right? And I look at it and I'm like, the hell's this? He's like, man, go ahead and get that for me. Now, let me find you now. And peels off. I'd have heard all about this, you know what I'm saying? I'm like, oh, and now mind you, I'm in the streets. A white boy, I'm selling crack. I'm out there thugging in the streets, right? I thought, this a whole different animal. You know, you ain't got your clique, you ain't got your homeboys, you know, you ain't got no pistol. So I know they always say, go up to the biggest guy, all that. You heard, everyone's heard that. Go to the biggest guy, punch him in the mouth. You know, it sounds good, right? Till the biggest guy give you a list. So he give me a list. I'm like, damn, and it's a long list too. And I didn't have no money. I didn't have no family ride with me. A little bit of money I came in with, and I played poker. I got off the land, which is a problem in itself, you know, gambling. But so anyways, I'm like, what do I do, man, in this spot? So I go up there, I get a couple things. I get a couple cans of Sprite. I shake one up. I got a blue bag, canteen bag. I tie it up. I go, buddy, I hit him with the bag. Bah! And if I'm lying, I'm flying. Hit him with the bag. Take off with everything I got. Bam, bam, bam. He went like this. Just ate it. And broke me down, dog. He broke me down, beat the shit out of me. He beat me bad, you know? Went to the box, he went to the box. But I got out, you know, and I was scared getting out. I'm like, man, but I got out and have respect. Like, I didn't have no problems that issue forward, you know? Like, I got into little things here and there, gambling. I didn't really go to the store and not pay my debts, none of that crazy enough, but I played poker and I had a slick mouth. So I had problems like that, but never like they knew I was gonna bump, you know? But that was my introduction in the chain gang.
So bro never wanted his get back after that?
Nah, I don't even know if they transferred him or what, you know? But I got out, I didn't see him. It was a wild time back then, you know? It was like stick to your own race, you know, and your own gang, whatever. And I wasn't affiliated.
Didn't know I am a rapper. My artist name is EI the King. Check out my music on all streaming platforms. Go to my other YouTube channel, EI the King. Check out my music videos. And I'm also releasing a documentary all year. It's really a docu-series. And every Wednesday, I drop a new video. As we've been documenting my transition home from prison and society, from the day of my release, we had a film crew at the gate just documenting my transition home from prison, now in society. Check it out on one of these links above.